Hey everyone, I am really excited to review this presentation with you. Wanted to introduce you to something called the BELT method, which is a four-step process that we use that takes a person from being a stranger and turns them into a customer using social media posts. And there's a lot of content out there, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be very different than anything you've seen before. And once you see how it all comes together, I think it's going to make a lot of sense, and hopefully it will really help give you some guiding principles about how to use your social media strategy. So I don't want to spend too much time about me. I did want to put some credentials on here so you could see who you were getting advice from, because there is a lot of bad information out there. What I will say is that this work, the BELT method that I'm presenting to you here, is the culmination of 10 years of work, hundreds of thousands of dollars in education and in testing. And so it really is something that I'm incredibly excited to talk to you about. So, like anything, any solution, we designed the BELT method to address what we saw as a lot of the common social media challenges that local business owners and entrepreneurs have in using social media. So, the four things that we kind of run into time and time again are: one, there's no plan or strategy for social media. Knowing the types of posts and the types of content to create. We get that question all the time. What do I post? What do I talk about? Reaching more people. So, one challenge that local businesses and entrepreneurs have is that they don't have a big following. So, they don't even get into the process of posting content because the thought is, why am I going to create this content if nobody is going to see it? And then lastly is just having a small budget to get results. Most businesses and entrepreneurs that I speak with don't have thousands of dollars to pour into this to get it right. So they really have to try to figure out how they're going to get this right on a small amount of money. And so that is because we kept running into the same challenges over and over again. That's what sort of had us distill and really create this methodology. So if I was going to boil it down to something really, really simple, when it comes to being successful with social media and getting people to see your social media posts and then become customers, it really comes down to having the right person see the right post at the right time. That is, in a nutshell, what the BELT method is designed to do. So let's tease that out and let's really go through this. So BELT, it's obviously an acronym, and it stands for belief, engage, lead, and transact. So what you can see in this graphic below is a triangle that was designed by a gentleman named Eugene Schwartz. He is sort of a founding father in the marketing and advertising space. He wrote a book, Breakthrough Advertising, in 1966. So he isn't somebody that is currently around, but the principles that he talked about and instilled are foundational for all marketing and advertising that happens today. And one of the big things that he talked about was the customer journey, which you can see represented here in this triangle below. And typically, what happens, and if you put yourself in the last purchase decision that you made, people typically move from being unaware all the way to most aware. So let me start with most aware. This would be, for example, if somebody were to go to Google and search for a very specific service that they were looking for, they would fall into the most aware part of this triangle, meaning they know they have a problem, they know that there is a solution for it, and they are looking for somebody to provide that solution. Unaware is they may just, it may be occurring, but it's just not front of mind. And really, one of the things that he talks about is a process that is really moving people from being unaware to most aware. And here's the most important point about this: what most of us are trying to do is we're competing for this most aware space. We're trying to put our message out and just find the people that are actively looking for the solution that we provide. There's a couple challenges with that. The first is it's just naturally going to be a smaller amount of people. Not everybody needs what we have to offer at that very time. The second part is everybody is competing for that. So it's more expensive, it's more noisy, it's a lot harder to get your message in front of those people because everybody's trying to get their message in front of people. If you talk to successful realtors or businesses that say, I don't need to advertise, I have referrals and word of mouth, what they've really been able to build for themselves is this pyramid here. And that is to say that they have enough reach in their sphere enough people know about them and know about their solutions that one of two things happen. When a need does come up, that business is going to be front of mind. And so the person says, okay, I know, so and so company provides that solution. I'm going to call them. Or they have somebody in their friends or their family who says, hey, I need a realtor. Do you know of anybody? And they say, yes, I know so and so. Give them a call. But the only way that that happens is if you have enough people in your sphere that know about your business. And so that is really what the BELT method is designed to do. You can see the B is for belief, the E is for engage, the L is for lead, the T is for transact. I'm going to drill down into each of these quickly moving forward. The thing to understand is that it's a customer journey. So somebody's going to start in the belief stage. We're going to move them to the engagement stage. Once they're in the engagement stage, we're going to move them to the lead stage. And once they're in the lead stage, we're going to move them to the transact stage. The transact stage is probably similar to what we have here with the most aware part of this triangle. But again, instead of just going for this, we're going to work our way up, or we're going to use the BELT method, and we're just going to move them through these segments. So let's talk about what each of these are and how to do them with your social media posts. So step one is just belief. Okay. It is the digital, think about it like a digital handshake. So if you don't have a lot of people that are familiar with your business, this is an opportunity for you to shake their hand and say, here's a problem that we see, and here's a way to potentially solve it. Okay. What it really does is it just helps identify the audience with the problem that your product or service solves. And you can see here that I've kind of highlighted in red. Our goal in this phase is not to pitch them or sell them or tell them how we can solve it. It is just for them to get present to the problem that they need solved. So, for example, say you were a realtor, and one of the things that you could do is you don't want to sit there and say, I'm a realtor, hire me, hire me, hire me. Maybe one of the things that you will do is put a video out there saying, here are 3 common mistakes that people have when they are looking to buy a home or start the home buying process. Keep in mind, we're not saying, hey, hire me, I can help you solve those problems. We're just saying, here are the common problems we see. And what's going to happen to the person that's watching that video is they're going to automatically start to feel some affinity towards you. See that you have some credibility because you're talking in their world. You're not just sitting there saying, hey, I'm a great realtor, hire me. You're talking about things that are very present, and people buy for emotional reason. They justify with logic. I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but people buy for emotional reasoning. So we need to connect with them at an emotional level. And the way that we do that is to talk about the problem that they have, and down the line, we're going to show them how we solve it. But really, the whole point of the belief stage is creating content and posts that are just all about the problems that people have. And then eventually, we're going to show them how we solve it. And again, we're going to be targeting people that don't know our business. The point of this is to bring people in, especially if we don't have a big following. We want to bring people into our sphere and just start to get them an introduction to who we are as a business, a person, an entrepreneur, whatever it may be. Typically, I recommend 2 to 3 videos about this. Okay, and so let me give you some examples from some different niches. So for a real estate agent, another example would be doing a community update talking about, so if they were to take a certain zip code and they were to put a video together outlining the number of homes that sold that month in the zip code, the change in the home value prices for that zip code, the number of new houses that were on the market for that zip code. Again, not trying to sell them anything, just providing some value and information. Maybe a financial advisor does 3 frequently asked questions about rolling over a 401k. And again, think about it from a financial advisor perspective, right? If somebody is interested in understanding some of the FAQs about rolling over a 401k, that very likely might mean that they would be a customer of ours. Okay, and we're not selling them, but we're providing value, we're providing information. It's a really, really powerful way to build trust and credibility. Just another example, say a painter, how to decide between flat, matte, semi-gloss, or satin finished paints. Again, anybody who's consuming that content may have an issue that a painter could help them with. So that's how you need to be thinking about the belief side of this content. So then the question is, all right, I got that. That makes sense, but how do I, if nobody knows who I am as a business, or I'm looking to expand the following, how do I get these types of messages in front of people in my target market? So Facebook gives us the opportunity to do that. Okay, so I took a screenshot from the Facebook advertising dashboard. For this example, I just selected the state of Massachusetts, but you can get really detailed. You can target by obviously the state level. You can go zip code. You could even do neighborhood. And then if you want to layer it with different interests and demographics, you can do that as well. So you can do renter, homeowner, married. So for example, if you were a realtor living in Massachusetts and you wanted to target people that were renting because they don't have a house, you could do that, right? So it's understanding the geographic location of the people that you serve, whether it's state, if it's national. I mean, we typically work with local businesses and local entrepreneurs, but obviously you can really expand this out. But the point is that you can get very specific to show the type of content that we're talking about to people in that area with interests that are aligned with your business that don't know who you are. And then Facebook will do the work of getting that content in front of them. Okay. So that's step one. That's the belief. That's how we get our message in front of people who don't know us. And we start to talk about things in a way, we create posts in a way that isn't selling them, but talking about the problems that they have that we can solve. So then the question is, okay, that makes sense, but then so the next step is engage. How does somebody move from that belief stage to the engage stage? Well, what we are able to do using Facebook is anytime, and we're very big on video, we're going to talk about that a little bit later in this presentation, but anytime somebody interacts with our content, whether they click on something, whether they watch a video, Facebook is separating them into different buckets that we can then decide what is the next thing that we want them to see. So here is an example of one of the accounts that we're working with, right? This account is a physical therapist office in Rhode Island. And what we have here is in our belief stage of our campaign, we have 4 videos running targeting, it's about a 25-minute geographic location. Because yeah, obviously if it's a physical therapist, we have to ask ourselves, how far is somebody really going to be willing to drive to do an appointment? We have found that it's about 25 minutes. So we target a geographic location within 25 minutes of this office. We put these 4 videos up, and here's what happens. Of the 4 videos, we've had 88 people watch 95% of the videos, and 75% we have 121 people that have watched 75% of the video. So if we, do that total, I'm going to do some quick math. That's 209 people have watched at least 75% of the 4 videos that we have put up. And you can see that that was for a cost of almost $26. And so this was a week long sample that we pulled. And so a couple of things that hopefully stick out to you here. First of all, we talk about managing things on a budget. So we've gotten 209 people to watch videos about this physical therapist talking about their business and the problems that they potentially solve for $25. I think you're very hard pressed to get a better return on investment than that. So I'm just going to have my calculator out here. So we spent $26 and we had 209 video views. That's costing us about 12 cents for somebody to watch a 4 or 5 minute video of us talking about our business. Super powerful. But the point is, the question is, how does somebody move from belief to engage? Well, they watch and engage with our content. So right now, if you look at this, people that have watched 75 or 95% of our videos or have clicked on our links, they have now moved into the engage stage, right? So we've shown them a piece of content that sort of pre-qualified them, given them an introduction to our business. Now they've moved to the engage stage, and now we can kind of decide what we want to show them next. So now that we have these separate buckets of people that have watched 95, 75% of our videos or clicked on links, the question is, what is it that we want to show them next? And so really what this part is just continuing to educate them on the problem with the ultimate goal of establishing trust. We want these people to really recognize us as experts in the things that the solutions that we provide and the problems that they have. Again, we're not trying to solve anything. We're just talking and demonstrating our expertise. And if you do that enough, people are going to recognize that you are a thought leader in this space and that you're somebody that can be trusted. And you're going to do this with multiple pieces of content, multiple posts, and really it starts to raise that awareness about your business and your service offerings. For starters, we say about 5 posts or videos is the best way to get started with that. So what does that content look like? There's some overlap with the belief part, because again, particularly in these first two, the B and the E, the belief and the engage part of the belt process, we're really not trying to sell anything. We're highlighting the problem, we're getting our audience present to the problem, and we're talking about our expertise in it, but we're not talking about how we solve it. So again, just a few examples you can see on the screen here: real estate agent, what to look for when you're viewing a house; financial advisor, what does employer life insurance solve; painter, before and after pictures with an explanation of the project, right? Just all things that, again, put yourself in this person's customer journey. So far, they see an ad of us, talking about a problem that they have and that we can potentially solve. Now they're seeing another video. They're probably going to be seeing multiple pieces of content showing us talking about that problem. Now all of a sudden, it's like we're very present as a thought leader and somebody who could help them with these issues. And so then it becomes the same thing, right? So how does somebody go from engaged to lead? Well, they interact with that second bucket of content. So, you have to think about it almost like a filter, right? So we target a large area of people that don't know us, and as people interact with our content, they're going to get filtered. They're going to get filtered, right? So somebody watches 95% of a video in our belief campaign. Now they're in engage. If they watch 95% of a video in our engage campaign, then they move to lead. And so the whole idea about this is, instead of just what everybody does is put their hand up and say, hire me, hire me, hire me, what we're doing is we are really building that relationship and that connection with them. And so I just showed you just another example here where you can see, from an engaged part of one of our campaigns, where we had 173 people watch 95% of a video, and that cost $54. So, I mean, you're talking literally pennies to talk to people at length about the solutions that your business provides. I don't think you can get a better return on investment in advertising today. So we've created a new relationship through our belief campaign, and we've strengthened that relationship with the engage campaign. So now the question is, what we want to do is it's now time to lead our audience to an offer or a solution. And so where can we lead people so they can see our offer and take actions towards becoming a customer? So this could be a appointment page on your website. You could do a contact us. You could use Facebook Messenger to have somebody send a message to you directly. But the point is, at this point, hopefully they've seen enough of us. And if they've watched, multiple pieces of our content for more than 95% of the time, now is a good time to say, hey, you've shown a lot of interest in the problem that we can solve. Would you be interested in talking to us about how we can solve it? Okay. Again, just another example of one of our accounts where you can see, we drove 59 people to our contact us page, and the cost on that was $54.22. So again, you're talking less than $1 a person to visit our appointment page. If you think about Google Ads or any of some of these other things, I think you're going to be very hard pressed to hit those numbers. And then lastly is transact, right? So we lead them to the page, but if we go back to this example, so of the 59 people that visit the page, not many of them are going to take action right away. Marketing tells us that you have to stay in front of people. They say it takes on average 7 touches before somebody's willing to become a customer. So of the 59 people, let's say maybe 5 of them fill out that and contact us. So, but what do we do with that other 54? Well, they move into the transact bucket. And again, we've created the relationship. We've led them to now is a time where we can put a little bit more pressure on them to take action and become a customer of ours. Again, we use 2 to 3 different types of videos, and and let me just take a quick step back. When I say videos, this is posts. Like this, we use video because it's the most effective way to get people's attention. And as you saw, Facebook separates people into buckets based on how much of video they've watched, which is really important information for us to decide how we want to build out our campaign and what we want to show people next. But these could just be posts, they could be images. Here at Multiverse, we're a big proponent of video, but you can definitely play with it. And again, what are some examples of that transact type of content? One thing I love is just testimonials, right? So if somebody goes to an appointment page and they said it, they don't take action, what if the next thing that they see when they're on Facebook is one of your customers saying, "Hey, I'm Mike Corbishley and I hired XYZ company and here's the problem I have. They were reliable, they did a great job. I highly would recommend them." That's just that's a really powerful message to have in front of somebody who has visited your page but for whatever reason hasn't taken action. If they see that social proof of one of your customers talking about the experience that they had, they're a lot more likely to take action. So here's the quick review, right? Belief, engage, lead, transact, the BELT methodology. One thing that stops people a lot is, well, I don't know what to create or how much to create. And so this is just a framework that we've put together. Ultimately, using social media, the more you post, the better. But if you can build out this framework, 2 to 3 videos or posts talking about the problem that people have that you can solve, again, don't pitch them here. Engage, 5 posts educating and entertaining people about the problem they have. Again, we're not trying to sell. Lead, right? So again, by the time they've gotten to lead, they've watched 1 or 2 of our belief videos. They've watched a number of our engage videos. Now it's time to give them an offer to talk with us and have them become a customer. And if they don't, if they click on it, but if they don't take action and fill out the form or hire us and become a customer, what we're then able to do is to transact and show them the type of content that's going to help get them over that hump of contacting us and hiring us. So this is really, really important to me because I know there's a lot of information out there that quite honestly isn't helpful and some of it is even wrong. And what I wanted to do was just create a very simple to follow process that local business owners and entrepreneurs could look at. If you have any questions, you'll see on the post that you're watching, on the bottom right, you can just click send me a message directly, or if you type this into your browser, you can be connected with me directly on Facebook. I'm happy to talk about your business, help you come up with content ideas, and I very much appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.